What's up, guys? This is my homie Alex.
Oh man,
It's kind of just haven't seen each other in a while, right?
been like two months at least.
Minimum, and been homies for a long time. Just wanted to talk about where we are in life and things where we are at mentally, in a sense, kind of carving our way through life in general. I think we're in a very nice position in our lives where we have goals set, but at the end of the day, it's still kind of tough to guide ourselves and knowing if we're in the right path. But man, welcome. It's been great, and I'm glad to have you here. First round of being able to just talk to you again and see where you were at, basically.
Let's start where we first met. Microbio
In college,
At least
about 4 years ago.
3 to 4 years ago. It was sick.
Been a good run.
Man,
I wouldn't be in this shape and mentality if it wasn't for you. So
Time flew by.
been pretty good, man. Remember the first time we met? I was training. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time. I was a purple belt at the time, and this big boy, he was about 30 pounds heavier.
200. This is when I was
200.
bulking.
He was
For like the longest time, I was 160. So
big,
I was like,
big time.
I was like, man, I gotta get my weight up.
And this guy bulked up. I met him when he was big,
Thick.
and that was when
Just looked like a plumber. Looked like an electrician.
for those of you who recall or are fighting fans, this was a Mayweather Conor McGregor fight back in 2016, I believe so.
17,
17,
who
something
knows?
like that.
I saw Tone and I was like, remember we had a break during micro.
And there was a group of people around, and you were like, "Who's watching the McGregor Mayweather fight?" And I
No one
was
said
like-
anything.
I was
except
like,
this
"Of
guy.
course,
He
hell
was
yeah!"
the only
yeah.
one. I was like, what?
And I was like, "Damn right." And you were like, "Oh, you into the UFC?" And I was like, "You best believe it, man. I'm a purple belt." And he's like, "Oh, what's
It's
up?"
like,
You
damn,
fight?"
bro, I'm training at Arena right now.
And shortly after, he was like, "Let's watch the fight." And I was like, I'm down. And he wasn't expecting me to go.
That same week, we exchanged numbers. We're like, all right, yo, if you want to come by the crib, we can watch it.
Sure enough, I
Sure
went.
enough, he came through with a 12-pack and chips and a bong. Brought a giant-ass bong to the crib.
I did.
It was me, you, and his homie.
Um,
What's his name?
what's his name?
I don't know.
Bearded guy. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? I don't know. He's in Pittsburgh right now. But
Yeah, that's right.
what's up to you? But yeah, it was sick. We started to watch the fight. We're in micro together. And I was like, yo, I go to EOS every day. Do you work out? You were skinny as hell at this time.
I was, and I was saying, it's so funny you mention that because I've been looking for a gym partner. I have been needing one. I know how to work out, and I got the drive and dedication for it, but I haven't been able to be with someone to do it with. You know what I mean? I'm in it, and he's like, "All right, bet. What's up?" I'm at EOS at this time. I'm at the gym. I'm like, "All right, bet. I'll show up." And sure enough, didn't think that I was gonna show up too. And you're like, "Hey, it's good that you showed up. What's
Dude,
up?"
I remember that next week you showed up.
And sure enough, man,
hit a workout.
3 years straight after that.
I remember telling you, I was like, damn, dude, I did not think you would show up. Like, nobody's down to work out like this.
And
We
no
had
one was.
One session, and then for a year straight,
Didn't
we
stop.
fucking worked out with each other.
The
It
whole
was
time.
Sick. We got in
Gains
crazy
developed
shape.
like no other. Crazy.
He turned into a gorilla that year.
Yeah, we did.
So
Both
many,
did, man.
so many pull-ups.
Oh man, that was
Every day
crazy.
we do pull-ups.
Let me ask you something, Alex. Now going into the background, but you've been through a lot lately. You put yourself through school, and you're set in stone where you're in a tough position, maybe mentally, physically, financially. You're putting yourself through school in a sense where you're on the grind. This is an accelerated course. What goes through your head when is there no other option? Saying it's just I can't quit, I can't stop, or what goes through your head when you're just at the lowest of the low? Because people out there definitely go through so much more tougher things, and they still have to go forward. You're in a good position where you're my main focus right now is in school.
I think because
you're looking at the long term, right?
I'm 27 now, so it's I'm getting back into school kind of older, or people would say. So we're not really.
Okay.
There's
Good wording.
no really
Good
time
wording.
frame. You find your career at some point. You can't judge your path based on someone else. Like, oh, I'm in nursing school at 27. They did
Many
at
people
20.
do that, right?
Yeah,
Many
but
people
it's
really do
terrible.
that.
Like, I'll do it sometimes too. Like, man, I wish I did it when I was 20.
It's easy to do that.
I'm here now.
That's right. That's
But
right.
yeah, there's no other option. And just like I told you 2 weeks ago, these past 2-3 weeks felt like fucking shit. Just like down, depressed. I'm usually not like that. You see me all the time positive and happy.
I have, but I've also seen you in your highs and your lows too. You know,
With like
you've definitely
the
seen
breakups,
mine.
all that shit.
Breakups.
The
man.
only thing that helps me, you gotta have a like consistent schedule. But the only thing that helps me is working out.
Like a routine.
Yeah,
Just a routine in itself, or just the workout, the routine of the
The
workout.
way I see it is like, unless you're like, I don't know, I get like clinically depressed people, but I'm trying to set my schedule so busy that I don't even have time to think about being sad or depressed.
That's really interesting.
I don't know if it works or I'm just like masking it.
It could
You know?
be. It could be a mask that will actually think of it as an investment where later on it's gonna work out, where it's gonna be able to pay off. You know. And I'll give you a quick example. I have a Brazilian friend that I train with, and he came from Brazil a while ago, and I don't know if it's just like all minorities or everything. You're Russian. Your parents went through something, and it's tough, and they're in a great position in their lives, you know. But this guy just happened to. He works for Uber, Grubhub, Lyft, and like Amazon to deliver packages. He has to make a certain quota every year, a month to like pay his bills, you know. And it's really tough. He just had a kid, you know. It's been difficult. I had a nice conversation with him. Unfortunately, he's cool enough for me to speak Portuguese with him. And even though my Portuguese isn't that good, fala galera, tudo bem com vocês? Russian guy. But he said, I talked to him, I was like, how do you stay up? How do you stay lifting? He's like, honestly, man, I just like work from a certain time to a certain time because I have no other choice.
You also have to take yourself out of the equation.
Well, how so?
If
What do
you
mean?
have a family, you're not doing it for you.
That's true. You have to provide, right?
Even like now, I don't have kids, but I have family, friends, girlfriend, and I feel like when I'm feeling down, oh, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to work out. I have to take myself out of it. I'm doing this for everyone else. You gotta.
Yeah.
The purpose is you gotta serve everyone else.
Now, is that just being selfless or is that being selfish?
I don't know.
It's really difficult because we have different extremes. I'm not a family man, if I'm being completely honest. I've all I know is how to be alone. I've only been able to just make it through with what I have by myself, you know, like I was fortunate to have a good background and not an abusive childhood. I had a loving childhood, but I had to grow up quick when I was 15, you know, like started doing my own laundry. I was fortunate to just live somewhere with my parents, and it was just not good after that. But my dad left me very young, and at 20, I went to one of the most expensive cities in the country, man, San Diego, and I've been doing it by myself ever since because I had no other option. You know, I was going to school and working, but I don't know if it's just the hustling of not stopping, or just because you have no other choice and life doesn't really give a shit about you when you have to make it your own, right?
Yeah, I think it's both because like, what's gonna happen if you do stop?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess that's the biggest
especially
fear,
if you're down. Though it's only gonna pile up if you stop.
True.
I don't know. I'm not there yet where I'm like just completely at peace.
Do you think you ever will?
I think that's the goal for everybody. I don't know if it will happen, but that's the goal.
That's the goal. I mean, I guess who doesn't have that question in their head, or at least ask themselves this question where, what is the meaning to life? You know, like, and that's not a set question. There's no set answer for any given person, you know, because my happiness can be someone else's happiness, you know, or vice versa. Their happiness isn't my happiness, you know, like it doesn't mean that they're wrong or I'm right, but definitely goes to show that there's different points of views per se, right? You know, and at the end of the day, you have to really focus on what you love and focus on what you're doing. And if you feel like you can trust yourself enough to do something that you want to do, try it, go for it.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, is taking a step.
Right?
Yeah. Respect to everybody who's doing what they love.
And a lot of
You
people got it a
gotta-
lot harder.
You gotta drop all that shit. Like, you're working a 9 to 5, but you want to do this. Like, fuck, it's gonna be so tough to drop this. I'm getting a steady income. I'm supporting
True.
myself, my family,
True.
but I'm not happy.
True. I mean, ultimately, the goal is to be happy, right? And that's where you want to be. You want to be there in life where you can just wake up and say, I said this many times on the channel, where I just want to be able to wake up and even, perhaps just even go to a place where I'm good with going there every day, you know? Say that it's not necessarily satisfying or settling, because I don't want to use that terminology, but it can be somewhere that I know that I'm doing good, not only for myself, but for others. Or if that's not what floats your boat, then something that will fulfill you, you know? Whether it be fucking building skyscrapers or scrubbing toilets, you know? I know those are two extremes, but
I think for you, jiu-jitsu's that outlet. You see how passionate you are about teaching, training. You got your 4th stripe as a brown belt.
I did.
10 years in the game, almost gonna be a black belt. That's fucking sick.
You know, it's really
You're
funny.
about to have your PhD in
jiu-jitsu,
grappling.
yeah, basically. Not many people can say that.
It's nuts.
I'm extremely fluent in the language of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And it's really nice because I never thought of it like as it being a career, because I know for a fact that I'll never become a world champion. It's not the mentality I'm trying to set. It's just the spread of the art that I would love to teach, you know?
But you also could be a world champion.
I'm sure I have the technique and the
The
discipline.
only
to do
thing
it.
that's holding you back in anything is your mindset.
Well, yes and no. It's mostly yes. And I'm only saying that because there are other factors that come into play to become a world champion. That's training twice a day, eating regularly, having that regimen, and sticking to that full time. And I can't do that because no one else is going to pay my rent. And guess what? Jiu-jitsu is not going to pay my rent. You know? It's just not. It's definitely a very difficult place to do it, because I have been around those people that have tried and are doing that, but they're not necessarily in the best positions in their lives. You know, it doesn't necessarily pay like a world-class athlete to say that, you know?
Yeah.
I've always said this to myself, where if there's one person, or not one person, but one group of people that I'm very envious or jealous in life, is extreme professional athletes. BMX riders, motocross riders, race car drivers, pro skateboarders, pro basketball players, you know, any type of athlete, any type of extreme sport, dude. Like, I've always been like, they are getting paid and making a career out of what they love, you know? I'm sure they gas out. There's a lot of other variables that come into play. Touring, fucking signing interviews, you know, stuff like that goes into play. But at the end of the day, they're getting paid to do something that they love. And to me, that's something that not a lot of people can take away from you, you know?
Yeah, man, it's tough. Because, like, some people can live a simple life, work a normal 9 to 5 and be so happy. Other people
good
want to
with
get the giant salary and be happy as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're miserable for 8 hours of the day, you best believe that you better enjoy the rest of the 16, you know, to be able to say, is like, I might hate what I do, but it provides me a luxury to be able to do what I love at the end of the day. There's that.
Yeah.
No one can take that away from you either.
Like I was telling you, like, the best I felt in a while was this past, like, January, February, after COVID, all that shit. And I
This
was
guy got
sick.
COVID pretty bad.
Dude, and I worked in a hospital for a year
Of
straight,
all that.
no problems, and then my girl gives me it. And then COVID, something else, whatever, all of it happened at once. But after that, I was telling you, I got on this insane grind, was waking up at 4 a.m. every day, didn't miss a workout for 30 days, was
30 days
working every
straight,
day,
no
school
rest
every
day.
day. Mentally was in the best place ever.
Sure,
But
man.
the thing, why I think I crashed is because I wasn't sleeping. I
Sleep
would
is
go to
very
bed at like
important,
9
man.
o'clock, whatever, wake up at 4, but like I wouldn't actually sleep 7 hours.
Right.
I'd go to bed at 9, wake up at 12, then I can't sleep. And sleeping on 3 to 4 hours a day just fucks you up.
Of course it does.
And that was a
man.
month straight.
And your body knows
Just
it,
push
too.
through it, and then I hit a wall and crashed so hard. Instant depression, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. People break it down like, all right. First of all, what is like your definition of depression? Do you think like you have depression? Yes.
Honestly,
or you're depressed at times, but you're not clinically depressed. This isn't a full state of being. For you.
like, you've seen me with some of my lowest, you know, like, it's tough to talk about in a sense where, like, I personally feel like there's so many people that have it so much worse and they still grinding. And for me to say that, like, I've tried to commit suicide 3 times within the past 2 years has been more than difficult, because like I have no reason to be depressed, you know, like I have so much more going for me and I'm aware of that, but I don't know why I still feel like I'm not fulfilling myself as a person, for myself more than anything. Because at the end of the day, who am I trying to please? No one. Like, am I trying to portray this image of who I want to be, where I'm like, I can't afford, or that I need the fancy car, the fancy jewelry, the fancy phone, or whatever it is, you know, in order for me to be liked by people when I don't even know them, or they don't necessarily care for me, you know?
Yeah.
But depression, I've had many people tell me, is like, maybe you should go antidepressants, you know, maybe you should try to seek a doctor. And I probably should, you know, like, talking to someone will always be beneficial, you know? But the actual definition would probably be, for me, of just like someone that has no motivation and drive to actually progress and get up the next morning.
Lost. Yeah, it's a terrible feeling.
It is a terrible feeling. A lot of people are caught with that, and it's a lot easier said than done to actually get out of it. But it's hard. It's really hard, you know.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. Last week, today's the 19th.
Yeah, 18, 19.
18, 19. On the 16th, which was like 2-3 days ago, was literally a full year of lockdown, man. Like,
I took advantage of it.
which is good, but like, think about the stats that went up, dude. Domestic violence went up. Suicide.
I
went
know
up,
all
you
that.
know?
Yeah, that shit's bad.
A lot of abuse went up. You know,
Yeah.
everything.
Drug use, all that shit.
Yeah, everything went up, and it's just goes to show where a lot of people had work as an escape. You know, and now put them into a setting where they either lost their job or they have to just be home all day, and they have to be around a even worse environment. You know, that's why it's difficult for me to complain when I feel like I'm not supposed to be in a position to complain, because I have it pretty fucking good.
I think we all got it pretty good in America. Most of us.
For the most part.
Especially compared to like our grandparents, other ancestors.
Yeah, people
They
actually
would look at our
migrated
problems
through
like, what?
here. Well, there's
You're
no such
upset
thing
over
as
it,
there's
girl.
no such thing as depression.
You're
you know?
upset over a girl?
Come on.
Dude, that's right. Like, you never heard about that shit, like, with our grandparents. Nothing.
No, not at all, man.
They had
There's
no
choice.
time. No fucking time to be depressed.
Not at all, man.
Just working every day to survive.
Just to put food on the table.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know how I am. It's all or nothing for everything.
Basically.
Crazy addictive personality.
I know, man. You
For
don't stop
everything.
once you find something.
So I don't know if it's like to mask it. Just like the other day, I was like worked out for an hour and then whatever, went on a run. And I was like, man, I don't want to go back home. So I just keep on running.
Just
Kept on running.
Yeah.
7 miles in, 2 hours later after workout.
Like, oh, man.
And then
Just
I
probably
hit this
turned around.
euphoria and I was like, oh, I feel so good. But it'll be sick to reach that state constantly throughout the day.
It would be.
How do we reach it?
Do you think that it would be good to be at that state at all times? You have to have a balance, right? There's ways you can't be happy all the time.
No. It's not happy. You have to be like centered. It has to be a centered flow state where you're not happy, you're not sad.
A real
You're
center
just
for
like
balance.
vibrating
Yeah.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Because like anytime you get too happy, it's gonna drop
Of
off
course.
and you're gonna get sad.
Yeah. Of
So there's
course.
always ups and downs,
That
but
makes
you
sense.
gotta find a spot where you're right in the
where
middle.
you're right at equilibrium. Right.
Not too happy, not too sad. Because then there's no ups and downs. There's just flow state.
I'm very fortunate to be able to be in Southern California and working in a place where it's a very high-end preventative care, and a lot of people that come through are older folks that have had lived life. I don't know whether they've done good investments or good life choices, but they definitely have a large sum of money to just kind of throw away, you know? And I'm not necessarily throwing that away because it's going to a good cause, or not necessarily a good cause, but they're putting it towards themselves, you know, getting tests, lab work, talking to doctors, trying to see if they can find anything wrong. If they can't, even great. If not, at least they're finding it now, you know. And I try to seek as much knowledge from them more than anything, to be saying, it's like, what would you do in my position where, you know, I'm in a good place, no kids, no debt, no girls, no distractions, no social media, and just trying to do things right as of now, not as of later, not as of 5 years. I was like, no, as of now, because this is the time where I need to be, you know.
Yeah.
And being able to absorb what they say, you know, looking into the real estate and keeping that mindset now, living simple, you know, like don't try to get into the idea of
the
like
superficial life is total bullshit.
it's total, right?
Dude, like when I was sick in December, January,
Mhm.
I like hit a peak point where I was like, man, nothing matters to me except my family and my health and my friends, the people around me.
Surrounding you, right?
Dude, when you're sick, the only thing you want to do is feel healthy and feel better.
Yeah, man.
When we're healthy, I want new shoes, new cars, new clothes, blah, blah, blah. I want this house. I
When
want to
you're
get paid.
sick.
But when you're fucking sick at your lowest point, all you want to do is feel healthy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
And then you feel like you took advantage of all
we
those
take
days.
our health for granted like crazy.
Granted, yeah.
People, dude,
Excuse me.
it's unreal. We literally just like, I don't know why we choose to put all this negative shit into us, like smoking, drugs, all this shit, eating junk food.
Yeah.
Dude,
Sometimes
we
it's fun.
should be, yeah, it's fun. You should have a balance, but it's like, man, we should be happy that we have access to like good foods and
Well
eating
said.
healthy, gym, all this stuff.
Well said.
People are complaining about a diet. You can't put the fucking cookie down. People would kill for
Hang
that
on, let me go
chicken
get a
and
donut
broccoli.
real quick.
People would kill to have that chicken and broccoli that you don't want to eat.
True. That's all I eat, man. That's all I meal prep. Chicken, rice, and vegetables, guys.
It's simple. Eat the same thing
That's
every
all
day.
it
I've
is.
been eating oatmeal every day for lunch for the past like 4 years.
At least, man.
Every day.
No doubt
Never
about
stop.
it. No doubt about it. If you
Oh,
ever
man.
want to lose weight fast and you don't want to work out, just cut off carbs. Trust me. Cut off carbs. Just chicken and vegetables. That's all you need.
I'm bulking right now. The boy is 182 right now. Once we hit 185, I'm gonna shred back to 175.
All right, man. I'm gonna stop this in a minute, man. It's been a good conversation for right now. Gotta start uploading and stuff, but we're still gonna keep on hanging out. We're still gonna be good, but
We're gonna pause it and do another video.
there you go. I'm gonna upload this right now.
Let's do it. My fucking
Man.
brother right here. Good to see you.
Always.